Hey guys, I am back, and this time we are talking about the higher investment strategy. So I did promise this on the low investment video that I'll be having two variants, and this will be the second variant. And what makes this variant special is we're adding destructive play into the strategy. Now, adding destructive play does add a significant amount of loot, and although it's higher investment, we are also profiting quite a lot more than the other video. So we'll be seeing much more T17 drops, but also going to be seeing many more Maven Writs. We're going to be seeing Maven Chisels. We're going to see all of the Orbs of Conflicts, the Crusader, Warlord, Redeemer, Hunter, all those types of Ords, as well as the Fragments, which we can sell from forces. Okay guys, I want to talk about the investments. So similar to the previous video, we are kind of using the same scarabs, and those scarabs are Scarab of the Multitude. We're using 3 of them, using 1 escalation and 1 lineage. For our map device, we are using Fortune Favors the Brave as well. Now, I quickly want to talk about the maps we are using. So this is kind of a big bulk of our investments are these maps. So the first thing I want to talk about here is that we can buy even T14 versions of these maps, because we can use a Harbinger Orb to increase the map tier all the way from 14 to 16. So that way we can kind of save money on buying T16 only, and it saves a lot of time because not everyone has a bunch of T16s. I do want to note that when upgrading these tiers, you may turn your map into a beach map, so it's quite unfortunate. I got really unlucky. I turned 33 out of 100 maps into beach maps. And this is the most important tip here, is you might be asking yourselves, why do I have Orb of Horizons, the most useless currency in the end game? And here's where the magic happens. We can roll these to natural T16 maps. So if we really want to optimize, and I highly recommend you guys doing this. So I've taken out my void stones and I'm looking at the natural T16, which are Lighthouse, Sepulture, Crystal Ore, and the Orchard. Now, once we put these back on, we can then see if it loads. There we go. As you see, Lighthouse, the T17 map is a Ziggurat. This one, Abomination. This one, Ziggurat. This one, Citadel. So, since we only have 4 of these maps that we can use the Orb of Horizons on, it makes running these a lot quicker. Because, you know, Conqueror maps are always random and they can have really crappy layouts. You can have the one where it has Innocence. So what we can do is we can roll all our maps to one of these 4 layouts. And the layouts I recommend are Sepulture or Crystal Ore. Now, Sepulture has Abomination. Abominations right now are very expensive, like 107 Chaos. The Ziggurats are a bit cheaper, so not as expensive. So what we could do is like roll them all to be Sepultures. Now, as you can see, I have Sepulture, Crystal Ore, Crystal Ore. It's super easy to run them. Like I have Sepulture, and I got unlucky there, but that's probably really easy to find a really good layout, because Sepulture and Crystal are really straightforward layouts. Not as straightforward as Strand, but pretty damn close. I quickly want to talk about the rolling of the maps. Now, with the maps, I highly recommend to roll these maps after you use the Orb of Horizon, because as you can see, the mods have now changed. But with the item quantity, we want at least 85. The more, the better. If you can, 8 modded maps are great here. They're just a little bit harder to roll and more expensive to roll. But all the maps I have done are not 8 modded maps, apart from like 3 out of 100, so it's not that much of a see. The more quant we have, the more it is like scales without explicit modifiers. So it's really important to get really high numbers here. Okay, for our idle setup, the first mod we want is max rolled. Increase explicit modifiers per 5% of map quality. This needs to be max rolled, which is 5%, as Conqueror maps do drop at like 16 to 18% quality, so it's very easy to quality them up. So the next mod we want is at least 2% explicit per map modifier. We do not need 3%. 3% is very expensive to justify on the strategy. It's about 100 to 130 divs for just those 2 mods, max rolled. And for our upgrade, we want Maven witnessing a boss as a chance to witness an additional boss. We don't need this if we are doing the Sepulture or the Crystal Ore thing, where we just run those maps solely, because it won't count because the map boss has already been witnessed. Now for our 1x3s. We are using 2 verticals and 1 horizontal. So the main mod we want is increased explicit of modifiers on our maps. This, like a good roll, is pretty nice here, and we want increased rarity of fortune favors the brave. And an upgrade to this would be just a flat increased rarity, as that goes a long way. Now we're using 6 1x1s, and the most important mod here is a high rolled tier 1 to 15 maps have a % chance to drop as a tier higher. Now this just basically means more maps that drop to T16 or T15, but T16s, which then will have a high chance of rolling to T17s. And stuff that can be upgraded to but not needed is like increased Conqueror map drops, or what I suggest to have is increased chance to have a ritual. Now our last slot is destructive play. So the way this works is, some people are a little bit confused, is the more mobs we kill in our maps, the more chance we have of more bosses spawning to the maximum of 3. So if we kill like 100% of the map, we'll have 3 bosses. If we kill like only 10%, then we would only have like 1 map boss. Now I want to talk about the profits from 100 maps. So as you can see, these are 100 maps. And yeah, there's a lot of T17s. I think straight away you guys probably seen the T17s. I have 52, if I counted that correctly. 52 T17 maps here. 52 out of 100 maps. That's almost, that's pretty much a T17 every other map. Now we have a ton of special maps as well. I'm going to call these special. We don't really want to care about this. It's not really there to sell. You can try selling them, but I don't expect you to sell them, or I haven't really factored that in. Fragments, very easy to sell from Faustus. Maven Writ, also very good to sell from Faustus, or you can both sell them in like POE trade. We got some divination cards, but nothing really that interesting. Oh, I did get Love Through Ices, which is 1.4 divs, so you can have some pretty decent cards. Scarabs, again, I'm not taking into these account because Scarabs is league. There's loads of people farming Scarabs. You can get lucky with Awakened Gems. Now, if you guys get like an Awakened multi-strike, then leave a comment down below, because that's like some big ticket numbers right here. And the currency, 5 raw divs dropped. You've probably seen one in the showcase. I had 2 Hunters Exalted Orb, 1 Crusader Exalted Orb, 1 Redeemer Exalted Orb. And we have Orb Conflicts. And also the big money makers are the Scarabs. Now I got 1 Maven Chisel of Scarab, which is very pricey this league. A ton of procurements, a ton of proliferations, 3 Valdos, and as you can probably see, the rest are kind of like cheaper, which I'm surprised I get a lot less currencies than T17s. But as you can see, that's a lot of profit right there. And I'm going to move to the spreadsheet because I know you guys are going to love this one. Okay, here is the spreadsheet. Of course, high investment destructive play. I could fit it in the box. So we have 100 maps ran. I have invested 3,500 chaos. I've made 8,461 in profit. Yeah, I've factored in obviously the Scarabs, which are pretty cheap. As you can see in the other video, Fortune Fears the Bold. T16 Conqueror maps, I priced them at 17 chaos. Could be a little bit higher than I expected, but rolling maps, 10 chaos. Really, if you have a build that can run pretty much most mods, you're going to save a ton here. For example, 1 chaos. Like, actually, it's not that big of a difference. Oops. So we had 5 Divines, 3 Valdos, 25 Ziggurats, 24 Abominations. I got Citadels, but I didn't have any space to put it in. Exalts. So we had 3 Exalts, which is quite low compared to the div ratio. 13 Maven Writs, as you can see, 1.2 thousand chaos. Maven Chisels of Proliferation, they go for 66 chaos, 16 of them 1000. The other Scarab, other Chisels, 1 Orb of Conflict, 0 Warlords, but 1, 1, 2. As you can see, big profits here. And then we have the fragments. As you can see, it's taking me around 2 minutes to run the map. It's literally you just whack stuff and go. You're not really doing any league mechanics. You're just killing monsters and getting to the boss. So I really enjoyed the strategy and it's very fun. It's very profitable. Investment is good. You have big ticket items to drop. For example, the Maven Chisels, Divines, you have Warlord Orb. This is not even taking into account the big Awakened Gems you can get as well. So this is definitely a much higher investment, but the investment isn't as high as I thought, adding another 27 chaos to the run. So that's very worth it. Okay guys, thank you guys for watching. And I'm always here in the Discord, so I really recommend joining it, especially if you are a newer player, so we can talk about stuff there. And I really enjoyed the strategy, and I hope you guys will enjoy it too. So once again, thank you very much, and cheers.